What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am talking about all things post-construction cleaning. Many of you know that I recently did a post-construction cleaning job, my very first one, on a 19,090 square foot medical office. We charged about $7,000 on that one, $7,083 to be exact. But before it was all said and done, we ended up with a whole lot more. So stay tuned to see what that number was. Also, if we just now meet, my name is Darian Jarrett, and I've been a cleaning business owner since 2019. And I'm on this channel to share what I know about the business and see if I can help you guys out with your journey as well. But let's get right into it. As I said, man, this was a 19,000 square foot or 19,090 square foot medical office. And we initially got this lead from a referral, and referrals are super powerful, by the way. So make sure when you're out there doing business for your other clients that you already have, just make sure you do a good job. Make sure you are referral worthy, right? This happened to come from one of our clients that we've been servicing for the last year and a half. They ended up having a contractor that is building one of their new offices, and they asked our client, hey, who do you guys use to clean y'all's buildings, basically? And the way it worked out was they told them about us and said that we were their preferred cleaner, and they ended up passing that information along, ended up going up there, meeting with his superintendent that was on site. He showed me around the place. They got hard hats on, they got boots, steel toe boots, all that stuff. So it's not completely done at this moment, but I'm asking him, hey, what are we going to be doing here? What are you guys going to need on this? Is all of this stuff going to be out of there? And that's basically how it worked out. I had to go and do some research, speak with my mentor, see, hey, man, give me some help on this one. I need to figure out how I need to price this. And so that's how I ended up getting that number, $7,083 for this particular building. But now let's talk about preparing for the job, right? One thing I learned is it's very important to have some cash reserves on the side, a stash, or maybe you got a business credit card, something that you can pull from to be able to purchase all of your supplies and equipment, everything like that up front. We ended up having some reserves where we were able to pull from, purchase our barrels. We had to get new mop buckets, had to get new mops, brooms, gloves, a bunch of rags, some spray. You need to have everything that is going to be required to have this job on site or get this job cleaned on site, right? Then we have to let you know too that they typically pay net 30, right? I believe it actually came out to be about net 45, maybe net 50 after it's all said and done, because it takes time to get the check processed, all that good stuff. But you need to be able to pay your people as they're in there too. Like, so if you have a certain payroll, you would have to be able to budget these hours that you have your people working in there. You got to be able to budget that correctly and be able to get them paid on the same schedule as you do your regular payroll. Or if you want to go ahead and pay them right away, that'll be a great thing too. They'll love that. That'll feel good to them. But we pay on the 1st and 15th. And then another thing too is make sure you have enough people. Let me get into that actually too. It was me, my stepdad, and then I had 3 team members. So it was 5 of us on the first day, right? And we stayed together. We went room to room together, right? We had somebody vacuuming the floors. We had somebody cleaning the windows. We had 2 people wiping down everything. And then I was kind of doing everything. I was floating in that area. I'm moving this ladder here, moving that ladder there. I'm mopping, right? So that's kind of how we did it. And then on that second day, we had the same squad. Besides one person, it was 4 of us that second day. Then on that next Monday or whatever, it was just the 2 of us. And then the following times after that, there would be 3 of us going in there every single time. And it worked just like that. We never had no more than 5 people in there at once. I believe my father-in-law, actually, my wife's dad came in there to help us out as well on one of those days. So he went around there doing stuff too. So we were able to just kind of bring in people when we needed to, right? People would come and help us out. We would sub out here and there. And it was a matter of maintaining the clean, right, throughout the process, right? Because either way it go, it didn't matter how much you did, it was going to get back dirty somewhere, right? As you see, we still got these guys in here cutting and stuff. But for a job like this, it just takes energy. It takes a detailed plan, right? It takes some skill set. You got to be able to know how to do this, do that.
and it takes real attention to detail, because that's been the biggest part of it. You see my buffer machine back there. We've been getting these floors good for the most part, but we still got guys walking through here, spilling paint and, you know, creating a lot of dust everywhere for us. But man, we are doing this and there's no complaints in this.
First, we wiped down the walls if it was needed, cleaned all the floor. We did all of that, the initial cleaning, windows. It was 8 hours Friday. We went 6 hours on Saturday. And then on Sunday, myself and my stepdad flew down here to Florida from Arkansas just to help me out on this, because he wanted to see what we had going on. But anyway, that was awesome. He and I went in there on that Sunday and we actually buffed all the floors, just a light scrub with a red pad on the floors. And the way that it worked out was they would go in there and they would have their contractors do somewhat of a punch list, is what it's called, right? They do a punch list where if the cabinets didn't look good, or if the floor was chipped somewhere, or they had to touch up some paint, they would go in there and make a big old mess again, and then we would clean up after that, right? So there were several times where we would just go in there and just to mop the floors, right? They would call us, hey, Darian, could you come and just touch this up for us? Or the painter spilled something over here or got some splatters on this area. Could you clean this up for us? And it was probably 3 or 4 times where we would just go back and just do touch-ups, right? After that, the very first initial clean. And this lasted for about 3.5 weeks, right? Then after all of that, we ended up coming back in there and doing what they call a final clean. This final clean is where we do the whole thing that we did initially again, right? And when it was all said and done, we probably out of the whole man hours, it was probably about 150 man hours with my labor included, right?
This place is pretty much clean. It was a huge mess before, but as you see, we had to get inside of there. I mean, all of them. We had to get inside of the cabinets. I mean, everything is pretty much done. Let's see here. This is one of the rooms we worked on. We got all that done good, and pretty much we just waiting on them guys to get out of here so we can get these floors all the way good. But
if you want to know how I actually bidded this, I have a video out showing how I bidded this. I will put in the link in the description for that video, and that'll help you out as well. But the way that it worked out was every single time we went in there to do any extra stuff in between, I would bill them for it, right? I would bill them our hourly rate. And an hourly rate on something like this was average of $75 just to go back in there and do something. And then a lot of times, if my people had to commute a long way, then I would end up adding fuel on there as well. And they understood that. They were totally fine with us charging a quote unquote premium to come back in there and keep doing all these touch-ups and stuff like that. So I would say I spent a lot of time in that building. Then after the actual client that owns the building, once they got all settled in there, this was after we were all done with it, we did our final clean, they would say, hey, could you get your guys that are cleaning this place to come and do this certain thing, or this, can you touch up this black trim around these wood panels on top of the ceiling or whatever, right? So I would go in there and do stuff like that, and I would charge them $75 an hour to come in there and do it, right? But now let's talk about the benefits of doing a post-construction cleaning job, right? I was asked, would I do this again? Is it worth it? All that. And I would say yes, right? If you're prepared to take care of it and do the job, I would say yes, it's absolutely a great thing to get into. Number one is it's an awesome cash infusion into your business, right? As far as revenue, if you do 2 or 3 of these a month, that is pretty good on top of what you're already doing, right? But so far, that was our first one. But I will say we're going to start going after these more and more, because of the fact that you can get a good chunk of revenue in your business on top of your regular revenue that you already have coming in on a contract basis. Those are nice little one-off jobs, right? Also, the networking key, right? That's number 2 on this part, right? Networking is awesome. I met a glazer person, the people who clean the glass or fix the glass, put all the glass windows in, and man, that was a cool dude and a great connect. He might have some window cleaning jobs for us, that we connected about. Also, I met the electrician guys. Those guys were cool. And then when it comes down to actually working with the general contractors, these guys are great to work with. They're easy to work with. A lot of them just be in there kind of shooting the breeze and doing whatever they do. But when you go in there and you professional, you show them, hey, I can get this done. And if they ask you something, you're on it right away. You got your team on it right away. That is a great part of networking. And I've been told several times, hey, we're going to use you guys more and more. You know, we have our next thing coming up. Hey, how far do you travel? We got a job up here that we might want you guys on. 7,500 square foot building is next. All this stuff, right?
And another thing too, the people that hire you, all they want to know is, can you do the job, right? Are you competent? If you're competent enough to do the job, you're gonna get more jobs, right?
So that's a good part about it. Then also, I wanna let you guys know too, I ended up hiring a pressure washing guy, because I don't do that. I don't do a whole lot of exterior stuff, but the contractor asked me, hey man, we need somebody to help us clean the front entryway outside. Plus they had this big old dumpster sitting in the middle of the parking lot. So now it's left this big rust stain on the blacktop, right? So he was like, man, are you able to do this for us? And I'm telling him, hey, I could try. You know, I'm thinking like, I'm not gonna say no. I could probably figure it out, but I'm thinking to myself, man, you know what? I'm already busy enough on the inside of this place trying to make this right for y'all. So I said, you know what? I am going to reach out to an actual pressure washing guy and see if they can help us out. I ended up finding a really good pressure washing guy, you know, driving around. You know, sometimes you might see them out there doing a job, or you might see their truck or their van, however they work out, or you could call their signs. And that's what I did. I seen a sign out somewhere. I called the sign, a couple people, but he was the only one that got back to me, right? He got back to me, you know, told me this is what he do, that's what he do. He showed up that next Monday. We did a walk around, I guess, because it was outside. Showed them, hey, they want this done, they want that done. And he gave me a quote, and I gave the company that I was working with a quote. And hey, you can make some profit like that as well by subbing the work out. That's another thing. This was a great opportunity for him. So that's networking right there, right? Plus me being new to this city, being somebody who's from here, great for networking, right? So I would say that was a good part about it. But to that point right there, it's just going to lead to more opportunities, right? And the benefit of it was I got plenty of photos, videos. I got just good material to be able to put on my Google, my website. I can actually say that I've done this now. Also, I got the experience behind me now too, right? I know it's the pressure washing guy, which was about $917. I only made about 10% on that. I didn't put too much on that because he did a lot of the work. I just got my quote unquote referral fee, right? But that's how that worked out, right? And before it was all said and done, we probably sent them maybe 6 invoices, right? You got the initial cleaning invoice, then you got several little invoices in there for this thing when we came in there and did, that thing when we came in there and did, you know, deep scrub on the floors, right? And then you got the final one as well as the pressure washing invoice as well, right? So I would say after it was all said and done, the number came out to be close to $9,000 off of a $7,000 job. So to that point right there, y'all, it is very important to be flexible with your schedule. Just work with them. They understand that it's extra work, it's tedious work. Whoever the contractor is or the superintendent or whoever you're dealing with directly, the main thing is to be flexible, be willing to overcome these challenges that will come up. Figure it out, see how you like it, and I hope this video helped you. You like this one, then you'll probably like that one as well. I'm gonna get on up out of here, y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.